In large systems, culture can vary widely between facilities. How do you kind of build a shared culture of human kindness across such a diverse organization? Any insights on that one?
Organizational intent. You have to have at the top what is most important to this organization. What is our strategy? Right now, it is that experience. It's called experience, and it's done through human kindness in every interaction. And that statement, our positioning statement, is at the very top of the organization. So there's no question across the organization what's most important and what we want to deliver on. That makes my job easy. I just get to go in with how are we going to do this? I always have the backing of senior leaders to give me kind of rein on what needs to be done.
And that's, I suppose, to your point, it makes the conversation shorter, right? It's not a question if we're going to do human kindness. It's just a question of how we're going to do it.
Right. And patient experience outcomes are at the top of the organization at every board meeting, at the CommonSpirit board. They're looking at our outcomes. It is every bit as important as quality and safety, financial metrics. It's got that kind of visibility.
Do you feel that to be in patient experience as a career, you need to have a clinical background or education? What are your thoughts on that one?
It's requisite, but I think you've got to understand the challenges. It's easier when you've lived the challenges, but if you're a good listener and you can, understand and be aware of what people are facing and work within those parameters. I've seen lots of people outside of clinical that are very successful at driving this work. It takes a good listener and a wealth of emotional intelligence to understand the challenges and how to impact those.
Yeah, I suppose it requires that you have an ability to learn from the experience of others rather than just draw on perhaps your own personal experience as part of the care team.
Correct.
Great. Would you say there is a balance between the individual and the organization? The health of one begets and influences the health of the other? What do you think there?
The way I interpret it is the health of the caregiver will influence the health of the patient.
If the health of the organization is good, it's in a better position to help, the individual, as well as if the health of the individual is in good shape, they're in a better position to support the health of the organization.
100%. Absolutely. And the health of our caregivers. We've got so many beautiful programs with well-being, and this is led out of our people function, and they've done beautiful work in how to keep our teams healthy. And it's really, everybody is kind of focused on this idea of what you just required, that the health of the caregiver, the health of the individual will impact the health of the patient. Absolutely.
Happy employees, happy patients. I think we're on the right track.
Yep.
How much importance does patient throughput carry in improving patient experience? Sometimes those are thought of as being at odds with one another, but what do you think?
Chris, you mentioned at the top of the meeting that, we like to embed experience, tactics, or lack of a better word, into some of these throughput issues. So, for example, I think there's not a busy ER in any metropolitan city that's not backed up and that's not boarding patients that are waiting for a bed. That's just the nature across, not just at CommonSpirit, but across all hospitals. I hear about it all the time. But how can we, improve the experience in our emergency departments and embed experience tactics in our reception areas, as well as when they're back in the rooms being seen by providers. So we have a lot of evidence-based practices that we're working with, and we've made so many improvements in our ERs that I'm so proud of. But lately, these patients that are boarding, it is a problem. And that throughput, and nothing is worse for a patient experience than sitting in a hallway waiting for a bed. And this could be for hours. So how do we treat those patients? Well, we are treating them like inpatients, which is what they are. They get hourly rounding and constant observation so that bedside shift report, we're trying to bring these inpatient things that we've been doing for decades, into patients that, quote, boarding in our hallways. And we really try and find privacy for them. It's so difficult. And these teams are challenged. And to not understand the challenge that the operators are dealing with, patient experience will never be successful.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. In our work, we find that time is such a strong indicator. Whether it's respectful use of that time or efficient use of that time is such a strong signal to patients about whether people care about them. And that as you situations have you described, we don't always have control of that, but that time can either amplify their anxiety or their fear or discomfort, what have you, or it can add comfort to it. But I think you're right. It's what we do with the time of connection that we have, even if it's short, to show that we do see you, we do care. We are going to give you that, even if the room is not ready for you yet. We haven't forgotten you, and we want to ameliorate your discomfort.
Beautiful, Chris. Thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself.